Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Thursday. I just took off my mask here. I don't have anybody around me within 6 feet here. So I wanted to talk with you about some big news that Governor Cuomo dropped this afternoon. He says that now the lockdown that we're going through right now, that is what's called New York Pause, is going to remain in effect until May 15th. So what that basically means is that the stores are going to stay shut. Only essential workers can go to work. And that's the way it is. So everything that we've been dealing with right now is going to continue until May 15th. But the governor has added a few things. These masks, which I just broke this one, I have to get some better ones. Anytime we're in public, when you cannot socially distance, which is most of the time, obviously a lot of people, it's cold out right now and there's no one else on the street, so I can take my mask off. If you can't socially distance on the street or wherever you happen to be in some public area, you need to be wearing a mask. That's the law. In New York City, according to Mayor de Blasio, if you're going into a grocery store, you need to be wearing a mask. Store owners, all these grocery stores that we have around here, they will be allowed to turn you away if you don't have a mask on. You have to have a mask to go into a grocery store or a food store, sorry. So that's number one. Number two, as of tomorrow night, Friday night at 8 o'clock, you're going to need a mask to get into a livery car, into an Uber, a Lyft, any type of car service, any type of bus, any type of like dollar van, any type of whatever kind of, transportation mode you're going into. You're definitely going to need it to go into the subway system. You're definitely going to need it to get onto a city bus. So it doesn't have to be a mask like this, which is it's a surgical mask. It can be a scarf. It can be a scarf. You need to have, the key is you need to have your face and your mouth covered. That's the whole key, because that's how the coronavirus is spread. So the governor has mandated that. That is now New York state law. Anywhere there's a lot of people, everybody needs to be wearing a mask. That's number one. And the most important thing is on public transportation. So don't get caught out there. You're running to go catch a train or catch a bus and you're tight on time or whatever. Make sure you have a bandana with you, some type of scarf, some type of piece of cloth covering. You need to make sure that you have something that you can put on to cover your face and your nose. Now, the reason for this is, of course, obviously to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Now, the governor gave us a little bit more of an update, a little bit of a better idea about reopening, because what everybody wants to know is, when is everything going to get back to quote unquote normal? Everyone's saying now, not just on the state level, but also on the federal level, it's not going to be back to normal the way that it was back to the way that we knew, 3, 4, 5 months ago, or even last summer. What has to happen is we have to get that infection rate down. So the Governor Cuomo said that we're about within a point, less than a point, of doing that. He says that all of these measures, like the, wearing the gloves, which are right there on the hood of my car, wearing the gloves, wearing the mask, all of these measures are working. He said they are having an effect. We've flattened the curve. The predictions from the CDC as recently as a couple of weeks ago were many, many more fatalities to coronavirus. That has not happened. He said that is a direct result of people practicing social distancing. It's a direct result of people staying home. It's a direct result of people wearing masks in public. And he said the mask, which Dr. Manny has said on Street Soldiers many times, the mask that you're wearing, it may feel good because you feel like you're protecting yourself when you go into a crowded store or you're waiting online. The mask is really there so that whatever you're breathing out, those moisture droplets you're breathing out, the mask is there so that those don't infect anybody else or, deal with the spread, help the spread of it. So the governor said, if we continue doing what we're doing, which is why he extended the New York pause for another month, there's a very good chance at the end of that month, which is May 15th, that we may be able to see a lessening of the restrictions that are on us now. However, it's not going to be something like all of a sudden, oh wow, everything's open, everything's back to normal, we can have parties, we can have concerts, we can do this, we can do that. No, restaurants can be back to regular being open, and you can go in and sit down. I mean, how bizarre is it now? Like, you want to meet somebody for a cup of coffee or a drink, you can't go anywhere. So It's not going to be something like that where it's a sudden turnaround of it. It's going to be much more of a gradual rephasing. Dr. Anthony Fauci, who is the infectious disease specialist, one of the most brilliant minds in that entire field, the guy who helped break the AIDS epidemic back in the day, he said that there's this concept of gating, where basically like they allow certain things to open, and then those things open, but then if the infection rate starts to go up, they can kind of put the gates up again, just like you would gate off a room, or you gate off your stairs when you have a dog, or you have a little kid, or you have a toddler. You gate off certain rooms because you don't want them to go in there and to get into trouble. So it's that same concept. So this gating concept is what they're going to use when it comes to reopening. But the most important thing that concerns you and that concerns me is how we go about living our daily lives. So these tremendous adjustments that we've made over the last several weeks, more than that, almost a month now, these tremendous adjustments and changes that we've made in our daily behavior in the biggest, most populated city in the United States are really paying off. So it's really, the governor didn't say it like that, but it's really big up to everybody for doing that. And of course, we can't forget all of our first responders. We can't forget all of our essential workers, our bus drivers, our store workers, our delivery people, our postal carriers, our mail carriers, all of our drivers who are helping people get to their, the essential workers, helping them get to their jobs, all of the people who are pitching in to do all of these amazing things to kind of keep things going and to make sure everybody gets what we need. So the most important thing is, I know it sounds like a lot. When I heard a month, I was like, oh man, no nail salon, at least for a month, probably even longer than that, because they don't consider that essential, even though we girls might. But the most important thing is that we just keep on doing what we're doing. So I just want to encourage you to do that. I want to let you know that, as things develop, we'll continue to let you know. And I hope you're going to join me this weekend. We've got some pretty amazing guests coming on Street Soldiers, Saturday 10 a.m. to 12 noon. We also have Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. There's still a lot of medical questions. This whole medical phase we're going into now is the testing phase. And that's very, very important for people to know about that and to have some peace of mind. I think it's about to blow over. Okay. So that's really important. So we're going to have Dr. Manny with us in studio talking about the testing. He's going to explain what this infection rate, how do they decide? I want to know, I'm going to ask him, how do they decide when it's kind of like, it's okay to start to reopen stuff? How do they decide when they're like, okay, you don't have to wear a mask anymore, or will we be wearing masks now for the rest of our lives? Is that like the new normal, as they're calling it, that's going to happen after this? So we're going to have medical questions. We're going to have a little bit of entertainment for you. We're going to have comedian Rip Michaels give us a little bit of laughter on lockdown on Saturday towards the end of the show. He said he'd come on. You've seen him on MTV's Wild and Out. Got some special celebrity surprises calling in for you on Saturday and Sunday. And of course, Dr. Manny and I taking your telephone calls, your medical questions. And we're all in this together. That's why we're doing these extra special shows for you every weekend live. So you can feel like you're part of the community. There's a lot of people that are hurting. But there's also a lot of resources out there too. We want to try to connect people with that as well. So I hope you'll join me Saturday 10 a.m. on Hot 97. Remember, if you're not in New York City, if you're not in the tri-state area, that's New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, you can watch on the live stream on hot97.com and the free Hot 97 app. I'm starving. I need to get go home and make a nice big salad. No place to go for one right now, and get a hot cup of green tea, and I'll be good and continue my work this evening. But I just want to wish you guys a happy Thursday, and please check me out. Join us on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. I promise you won't regret it. Okay? Have a wonderful, wonderful night. I love all you, and that's it. Let's spread the love. Okay?